What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. So we have a video by Vice, and this is like, what is it? The horror saw at a Korean private school. Informer tells all. So basically, these are called hogwans, English Academy. And yep, we're gonna hear this lady's story, but she protected her identity. But I could kind of tell it might be, I mean, female, but of course, yeah, we'll see and we'll just listen in. So let's get right into it right now, and let me get my size here, and here we go. So listen up.
I used to teach at a Korean hagwon. A hagwon is a private Korean school. We were being watched 24/7. CCTV was everywhere, in every classroom, in every hallway. I also think that there was audio. We couldn't speak freely about anything negative that was happening. I felt very uncomfortable around my assistant director. He had brushed up against me a few times. He touched my butt a few times. You start to think like, not necessarily being suicidal, but what do I do? Midnight running is a term specifically for Korea for English teachers who are in similar positions that I was in, who their bosses are breaking laws or breaking rules or treating them horribly, whether
Okay, that's called the Midnight Run for most hagwons or English academies. So yeah, a lot of these come because here's the thing: you're on their mercy. You get an E2 visa, and you are on their mercy. That's what one thing I wanted to avoid coming to Korea because I'm on an F visa, and I wanted to avoid all this. So yep. So let's listen in.
it be racism, sexual assault, it is for people who their last resort is leaving and not telling anyone. I wanted to teach at a hagwon originally because my cousin has lived in Korea for over 6 years. Teaching or working with children, rather, was more my passion. Working at a hagwon turned out to be one of the worst experiences of my life. The children definitely are overworked. I was teaching them mostly English, but also illegally was teaching them ballet. There were not enough people working in the school teaching. I was watching multiple classrooms, like three at a time almost, with 4 year olds, very young kids. Kids are jumping on tables. And one kid actually tried to jokingly throw himself through a window. It's just complete madness. The Korean teachers would have far less breaks than the foreign teachers. They were way more overworked. I've seen teachers running through the school, not sitting down for like 8 hours a day. I've seen many of them cry. One of them would be in tears because my director just yelled at her, and I can't even go over there to hug her or console her because I will get yelled at not to talk to her.
Yeah, and this is the worst case, especially if you're female. Even the males, I've seen it, but yeah. But here's the truth: if you're like a big, intimidating male, they're not gonna mess with you because they're gonna get effed up. But in Korea, but the thing is, we can't even do anything physically because it's called yeah, payment loss. You're gonna have to pay pay off the person in case you f them up here in Korea. So yeah. So yeah, this is like the horror that I wanted to avoid, and I just because I wouldn't have came to Korea unless I had the F visa. I call it the FU visa because I could just roll out. But the thing about a lot of these people in E2 visas, they're stuck and they are just held over their head with that visa. That's why, like, you got to go from an E2, and then you got to pray for a release in case. And there's just always sentiments. That's why I never really get extremely close with the directors, or anyone, because this is the every that's gonna happen. Like I'm not even close with my first job director because that SOB like canned me, and I'm just like, go F yourself. I don't even want to talk to you, you piece of, crap asshole, So no. So let's go.
It was a very hostile environment. The most shocking thing that I saw was how the teachers were treated. Within the first 3 days of being there, I saw my director yell at a Korean teacher and call her stupid multiple times in a row in Korean. I only knew like a few Korean words, but I knew that one. And I think that is the first time where I realized, oh, what did I get myself into? I felt very uncomfortable around my assistant director. He had brushed up against me a few times. He touched my butt a few times, and he got like very close to me, and it was just me and him in the break room. And I was like, nope, I'm good. Please get away from me. I wanted to tell my director because I knew that that was like a big deal, especially with hearing other instances of them touching my coworkers. And she also, I felt she would be understanding. She did not care that he'd done that. She basically wrote it off as not being a big deal, which was very upsetting because I thought even maybe as a woman, she'd understand that. My coworker found porn on my assistant director's computer. It was in a folder on his desktop. So all you had to do was open that folder and you would see them. And there were children around. He teaches children. I just find it incredibly repulsive. My coworker did report it to my director, but as usual, nothing came of it. And she shrugged it off. This shows you the lengths that this woman is willing to go through to keep her business afloat, that she does not want to fire someone that is looking at porn and sexually harassing her employees. My breaking point was when I was exposed to COVID and the school lied to our faces about it. I had to be in quarantine, and my director flew to Jeju when she knew she'd been exposed. They lied to my face multiple times. They lied by omission multiple times. It was completely beyond upsetting, and I was definitely not okay, and I was very depressed.
Oh, and okay, the time during COVID, man. Oh, luckily, the U.S. government was helping me out. But yeah, I didn't even work because of all this crap. They're like, number one, you need to get jabbed. I'm sorry, I'm one of like 20% in Korea that didn't get jabbed. And I'm like, no, screw that crap. And I even like had it with my directors. I'm like, yo, if you want me to get the vaccine, this is my last day. I'm gonna roll out. And she goes, no, 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 don't. Just don't tell the kids. I'm like, all right, cool. But yeah. And then even if you during COVID, and if you would like keep quiet, and then even if you just went to like what Itaewon, right, and you just had just a little bit of a lunch with your friend, and then the director would gaslight you like, you how dare you go there, and I'm just like, for me, I'd have been like, all right, F you. But the thing is, I had an out, because I'm an F visa. But a lot of these teachers don't have an out, and unless, and of course, this is just the F because COVID got so crazy. Like, oh yeah, we need to close the shore, and we need to, and this was all a lie and all that. But yeah, so I see where it gets very depressing during COVID, and all of us went through this.
Do I need to midnight run? Do I need to
And
leave and tell
not
no one
run.
and speak of it nowhere and just get a ticket and run? There's all these thoughts going through my head of what should I do next? But I couldn't do anything because I'm stuck in a room. It was a feeling of just hopeless
Mhm.
and being powerless and not feeling like I could do anything. I would have done it if she didn't try to fire me and give me a way out. My director told me, hey, like, you don't follow me. You don't follow me, which I believe she meant like, you don't do what I want all the time, so I don't like you. And she said, okay, so you're just gonna have to go. The experience was definitely traumatizing. Being treated like that by people who clearly do not care about you as a person, they only care about the money that you make them, was horrible. A lot of hogwans are like the school that I worked for. If
Yep.
not, I've heard worse stories. This is not rare.
And this is the thing. Yeah. Coming to Korea, yeah, I wanted to avoid all these issues, all these problems, because yeah, I don't want to deal with all this BS that this person was dealing. So yeah, it is what it is, and yeah, and a lot of things are just not done about it. So yeah, you just got to choose wisely where you work. All right, so if any of you enjoyed any of this content, please give me the HKO special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment wherever you are. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.